Here goes Sarah.
Margot and Harry as well. I don't know if anyone heard me, but Ed and Leslie, thank you for a beautiful day. And Margot and Harry for being in love. And to Richard and Lorraine for a beautiful night last night. And Lorraine, thank you for picking me up. So, for those of you who don't know, Margot and I were born into our best friendship. Luckily for us, our moms did all the work. Our moms, Leslie and Ann, have been best friends since 5th grade. So by the time Margot and I came around, it was inevitable that we'd be best friends as well. Although Margot was always 2 years older than me, which meant by the time that I was 14, I had a personal chauffeur and free entrance to all the Fishers parties. Margot and I did everything together, and I really mean everything. Thursday morning golf at Hay Harbor was mandatory. Margot will always be a better golfer than me, but unlike her, I will always wear shoes while playing. We biked to and from each other's houses constantly, making our moms come pick us up in the middle of the night when we were too afraid to bike by the duck pond at night. We drove everywhere together since the second Margot got her license. Even though my house was 5 minutes out of the way compared to hers, to every destination on Fishers, she would come pick me up every day. And to this day, her and Harry now come pick me up, or just sometimes pop in the driveway to make sure I have a ride. We had countless sleepovers until about the age of 23, but I'm also not quite sure why we ever stopped. And whenever we were missing, really meaning at a party, we would just tell our parents that we were at the other's house and no one would ask any questions. Margot and I were the closest thing to sisters without actually being sisters. There was once a DUI checkpoint on Fishers, and I was about 19, Margot was 21, and I was driving, and we each had a couple of glasses of wine. As we're driving down upon this DUI checkpoint, Margot decides it's a good idea for us to switch seats because she's already 21 and she won't go to jail if we get caught. So we switch seats. The cop arrives at the window of my car with his flashlight just as we're switching spots. My head was in the driver's seat, my legs were in the passenger seat, and Margot's body was crossing mine. The cop thought we were idiots. He luckily didn't question our sobriety. Even though this plan didn't really work and we didn't really switch spots and it was weird, this was such a classic Margot move. She never hesitated to protect me, giving no thought to how it might affect her. And she always has and continues to be this kind of friend. Putting others first, making sure everyone's taken care of, no one's walking home alone at night, and no one's going to jail by themselves. Although Margot and I have countless stories like this, tonight is about Margot and Harry, so I'll move on to them. Anyone who knows the happy couple knows how much Winslow plays a part in their relationship. So my toast tonight is going to revolve around him as well. Ed, get excited. Comparing Margot and Harry's love to puppy love is really fitting. The way these two look at each other, there's no question of their love and adoration for each other. In case you didn't know, dogs have 5 cycles of growth in their lives. You start with early socialization, and move on to critical socialization, then young adolescence, young adulthood, and finally adult maturity. So for Margot and Harry, starting with early socialization, for me, I consider this Harry's first meeting of the McElrath parents. Of course, Ed liked him. Ed likes everybody. Well, almost everybody. But we all know that he wasn't the parent that Harry had to schmooze. With Leslie, her decision was made really quickly, and she loved him, which made me realize that this was serious. Critical socialization is the next step. For me, I consider this Harry's first trip to Fishers. Any in-law of the island, there's a couple here tonight, knows how daunting a task this can be. You have to simultaneously win over the parents, cousins, friends, grandparents, anyone you're going to meet at the Pequot all at once. And then be willing to play golf and tennis the next day, hungover, in the heat of August, without complaining. Harry passed this test with flying colors. And he continues to come back to Fishers almost every weekend with that huge hairy smile on his face that we all know and love. Young adolescence is the next stage. This one's kind of tricky. For puppies, this might mean peeing on the carpet, or chewing on some sandals. For Harry and Margot, this meant getting engaged at an early stage in their relationship. Before I learned of the engagement. So you can imagine I had my suspicions. Luckily for us, the engagement has lasted just long enough to get to know Harry and understand how perfect these two are for each other. Young adulthood is the next phase. I consider this to be where you guys are now. Young adults in the peak of your prime, on the brink of an amazing life together, soon to be finding your groove as a married couple. This is where the rest of your life begins. The puppy stages and the adolescent phases are behind you. You are embarking, pun intended. We're embarking on this journey as one unit now, growing together. My advice for you on this stage is to remember your puppy love. Always remember that the 7-year itch is only 1 year in dog years. Someone will inevitably pee on the carpet and track mud in on their paws. But your love, just like Winslow, can break all the rules and still be perfect. And when you need the extra reminder, head to Isabella Beach and throw a ball in the water and watch Winslow chase after it. That can turn any day around. The last and longest cycle of growth is adult maturity. I don't know about this phase. As you make your way towards this last stage, please remember all your friends stuck in the young adolescence and young adulthood phases. Remember that no matter where the dog years take you, everyone in this room tonight is here to support both of you, and will work hard to give you the same focus and attention that you give to all of us now. You both are unbelievably good friends, not only to me, but everyone in this room tonight, and we're all lucky to be able to share this day with you. Harry, thanks for being my best friend's best friend, and I look forward to seeing where the dog years take you. Raise a glass to their puppy love and cheers to the Garlands.